So with our fearlessness, we will thrive, right? So each movement has an affirmation. So we're gonna start off. I want to shake off some of the angst you have in there. You know, you've been standing and sitting and waiting around. I don't know what your week look like, but your week that's coming, it's going to be a little bit more challenging. All right. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to raise our hands up in the air, and we're going to come up onto our toes, raising up, reaching towards the sky, folding our body, hands into the center of the circle, making a complete circle, and then bringing our hands down to our legs. And we're going to, as we come up, we're going to tap our legs along the side. And then, I think I better demonstrate okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to tap, 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 and we're going to get up here and we're going to shake our bodies, all right? But as we're tapping, we're going to say ha. We're going to let that air out of our body, and we're going to say it to the top of our lungs, all right? But we're going to say it from our belly, all right? Everybody understand? So bring your hands up, reaching for the sky. And now bring your hands down, coming down to the earth. And tap. Ha, 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 ha. All right, I know I got Oakland in here. And we really know how to shake, and it's really important that you do. All right? Because when you're shaking your body, you're letting that trauma loose. And if you're smiling right now, the endorphins are kicking in. All right? So let's do it 2 more times. Bring your hands up in the air. Breathe, reaching towards the sky, coming down and touching Mother Earth. And tap. Ha, 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 ha. All right, I want you to lean back this last time. All right, you got to give it to me. All right, so let's breathe it in. Take in the sky, heaven and earth. Coming down to earth. Bring your hands to the side and tap. Ha, 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 ha. All right. So I'll just give you a little background on that. So we use our voice. Some of us don't use our voice very much. We hold it in, right? And we let it pile, and then we explode, all right? So we need to use our voice, and this will allow you to use your voice. And then you're in those situations where there's a lot of people, you can just do a quiet ah, ah. So what you hear is you're letting it out. And the tapping is working the nervous system. So your nervous system, and you're also stimulating the blood to come in and say, I'm alive. And then the final part is that you're shaking your body. Now, I don't know, I might be revealing my age, but you know the animal kingdom? If you ever seen a lion capture antelope and the antelope gets away, or if you got a dog and something's bothering them, what's the first thing they do? They shake, all right? They shake because they're not carrying that the next time, all right? So that's a good practice for you. So now we're going to start with Mui. I'm going to try to see if I can do this the best I can. So placing your feet on the earth. If you feel good about it, you can take off your shoes and really ground, all right? Now, place your hands by your side. And I just want you to stand for a moment and ground into the earth. And as the waves are going in and out, I want you to let go everything that you're holding. Release the tension. Breathe in. Catch the rhythm of the wave. Be one. Taking a deep breath. And on your next out breath, we're going to breathe our hands up, riding on the wind, as if we're floating in water. Take a deep breath in, and this out breath, slowly and gently, bring your hands up. Softly and gently. We're only going to bring them to our shoulder height, and our hands are going to be in front. Breathe. Now on the in breath, breathe your hands and soften your knees. Now you're going to turn your waist to your left, and you're going to extend one hand into the circle and one hand back, making an invitation to the universe. Whatever it is that we want, we have to make that invitation to bring it in. Now let's turn to the right, both ways. Open, making an invitation. Turn back to center. Now extend your right hand. Now this is an important one. And take that right hand and move obstacles large and small out of the way. And then you bring your other hand down and advocate for what you want without aggression, standing in your own power. But stand there, feel what that feels like, feeling the earth supporting you, crown of your head touching the sky. You are always with us. Now, extend your left hand again. Right hand, we're going to all be looking back, gathering the wisdom, knowledge, and support of our ancestors. And as we bring our back hand towards our ear and coming back to front, we're going to be listening to them as they whisper that wisdom, and we all bring it forward into the present moment. Sankofa. Let's do that one more time on the other side. Look back and get, gathering the wisdom, knowledge, and support of the ancestors. Listen and bring that energy forth into the present unfolding moment. Both hands down, open and ready to receive. Soften your knees and gather the energy from the earth. Bring the energy up. Reach up, gathering the energy from the sky. Allow it to flow over and through you, replenishing and restoring. Bring your palms down. Turn your waist to the right. Turn your waist to the left. Shoot. Coming back, bringing the energy up from the earth once more. Roll your shoulders back. Pave the way. Both hands come out. Bring your thumbs in, wrapping your thumbs like you're holding two eggs. Bring it up, reaching up towards the sky. Coming down, reset. Take 3 deep breaths here. This is to remind us that it's important to pause, to stop, to reflect at every time that we need it, as is important as the doing that we do. Take another deep breath. Not getting caught up in momentum. Be still. Relax. Release your thumbs. Bring your hands along the ribs. Reach back, both hands. And on the out breath, embrace your passion. the thing that makes you come alive every morning. Now turn your waist to the left and turn your waist to the right. Coming back to center. Service. A leader serves the people. Let's do that on the other side. Again, 1, 2, turn, service. A leader serves the people, and all I see is leaders here. Bring your hands up. Holding a pyramid between two hands. Allow it to come down like rain on a slanted roof. Surrender, not giving up, but letting go of those things that no longer serve us. Turn your waist. Turn your waist to the other side, looking back, making a circle, and return, transform. The pivot, knowing when we need to stop and making the decision to pivot, and then we can transform. Last movement. Bring your hands up, in, and cross. This is measure, discern, and not judge. Open your hands, receive the blessings of the work that we do. Breathe. Open, heart and lung, receive the blessings. And now bring your hands together and bow to your inner self with love, respect, compassion. Thank you very much.
For the answer, right? It's like, oh, okay. Okay, we get it.
That's right.
Wow, thank you, Zochi. So, get comfortable. I'm getting ready to talk to y'all a little bit about accountability. And we're going to have a Zoom get-together November 10th. And we're going to talk about it online. There's an article I want you to read by Adrienne Marie Brown, wonderful, wonderful woman, thinker, activist, scholar. But I wrote something. She inspired. And I want to share a tool with you first. It's called THINK, and it's an acronym. And you might know it already from some of the recovery communities. But THINK is an acronym. Is it thoughtful? Is it intelligent? Is it necessary? Is it helpful? Is it kind? Think. Is it thoughtful? Is it intelligent? Is it necessary? Is it helpful? Is it kind? Think. Accountability is a road less traveled. It's less traveled because there are no witnesses. Accountability is a road one travels because it's righteous. It's the righteous thing to do. There are no witnesses, no awards, events, no trophies. Accountability is just you, not just us, and one soul. It's time to be a grown person, folks. Accountability means we own up, fess up, get righteous. Accountability means we don't blame anyone for our poor choices and their consequences. We don't blame the system, genetic weakness, structural racism, poverty of the soul, families of origin, peer pressure, ignorance. No. Accountability means owning up to what your mouth said, what your hands did, thoughts thought, actions completed. Accountability means apologizing, making amends, and walking straight. Accountability is forgiving ourselves and not expecting the ones we've wronged to like us or want us around. Accountability is knowing that while our higher power loves us and might give us another chance, People might not, and we need to let it go and move along. Accountability is letting go of outcomes once we've realized we've messed up. Accountability is learning the lesson and doing better. Repeated wrongs means we are not accountable for our actions. If a behavior is wrong, repeating it will not correct the outcome. Right?
Right.
Accountability means doing little harm, and when wrong, stopping action, especially when told. Sometimes people enjoy harming other people. Accountable people do not enjoy harming other people. And if you do, you might ask yourself, with whom and why? Everyone has choices, especially grown folks. It's a power thing. Some people have more power, and the more power one has, the more responsible and accountable one has to be. Powerful people make big mess. So powerful people have to realize this and be accountable in all ways, thoughts and deeds. Thoughts become deeds. They do.
Okay.
Thoughts become deeds. Thoughts become deeds. Feelings don't become deeds. Feelings pass. You own them, you observe them, and they go. But thoughts, they become deeds. We might be sleepwalking. Accountable people, grown folks, are awake. However, if a person chooses to sleepwalk, that person is still accountable. We make things happen. There are no accidents. We are an actor in our lives and in the interactions we have with others, strangers and people we think we know. Accountability means that we are responsible for ourselves and to any dependents we care for. No one owes accountable people anything. There is no debt. Accountability does not make us gods or lords over other people. Accountability does not make us mind readers or give us more than one life to live. We only get one life, folks. The one in the shallow end of the pool, the one with a heart beating nonstop until it stops, the eyes looking at me, the ears hearing this talk. This is yours. This is mine. You don't get to have my life. You don't get to have your children's lives. You don't get to have your partner's life. You don't get to have your parents' life, your siblings' life, your neighbor's life. The person over there doing what they will. You might say, wasting their life. That life doesn't belong to you either. If someone tries to give you their life to live, give it back. You will only mess up the one you have and the other person's too. Accountability is honesty. It is knowing when a relationship is not working and walking away. It is investing in your own happiness and surrounding yourself with people who love you and share similar values. Self-respect, maybe, a healthy, safe lifestyle, maybe, that promotes abundant good. You know, that's a good place to start. Suffering is a given. We do not want to be around people or situations that promote suffering or cause harm. Accountability is acceptance. It is believing people are doing the best they can, yet some people's best might be too little for you. The earth is spacious, and we do not settle for unkindness, ever. If a person can't treat you right, find people who do. You deserve kindness. You deserve good treatment. Sticking around waiting for a situation to improve doesn't make certain situations get any better. Mean people are not accountable because there is no room for meanness when a person is reaching for her or his or their highest good. Accountability means we are not playing with life. We are living our best lives. No excuses. Accountability means we are appreciative of each precious moment we get to take another breath and smile on a new day. Life is work. Living an accountable life is work, but the reward is one that makes not just our lives better, it makes Black community better. If we are grown people, we are scared, we are scarred. However, this is no excuse to harm others. Stop hurting and get the help you need. And if you don't know where to get it, ask somebody. Be accountable. Practice accountability. Black people know peace is impossible in America. We are always expecting the worst. We are always waiting to be attacked. This environment is unhealthy. We all experience complex trauma while managing historic trauma. It's easy to victimize, scapegoat, and perpetuate harmful behavior. It's what we know. This toxicity is modeled everywhere, yet we can resist. We can refuse to participate in such thinking and behavior. We can cultivate something different like trust, Black joy, love, serenity. We can practice accountability because we want a better world for each other and for the yet to be born and for the little ones and for those in God's waiting room too. Only through accountability will we be free. We don't want to be functional black people. We want to be free black people. Our ancestors want us to be free. Think about those ships we've seen images of or actually touched artifacts. Think about the brandings, whips, chains, sexual and psychological abuse. This painful legacy shaped us into a people whose determination lives inside each of us. We are more than the worst thing we have suffered. We are more than what our ancestors survived. Some of us resist accountability because we still live on the plantation. The plantation is familiar. Bondage is familiar. Do freedom anyway, despite the fear. Embrace accountability. Pick up the broken pieces of your psyche and make yourself whole again. Accountability is how African ancestors move. We fall down, yet we rise again, over and over and over again. That's why we're here. Get free. Be accountable. Take responsibility for the good and the bad we cause. It's not all good or bad, but our presence in the room changes the room and its inhabitants. Neutrality is a space we occupy most of the time. Life is not a binary filled with extremes. However, all of our feet on this sandy beach has changed it forever. We don't necessarily know the impact. We just know, if we think about it, that we had an impact. Let's lead with humility and faith. We don't know what we don't know. Ask before assuming you know. Ask before you act, especially when it involves another person's life. Accountability means being responsible, curious, and ready to learn. Accountability means repeating those behaviors that are acceptable in the right circumstances. And when you don't know how to proceed, wait, watch, and ask. Change is constant. No one knows everything. What you knew yesterday is out of date today. What you know now might be irrelevant in a couple of hours or a couple of minutes. Accountability means being a lifelong learner. Accountability is love in action. Good intentions are never enough. Be accountable beginning right now. Turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor.
Neighbor.
Accountability is taking responsibility for my life.
Accountability is taking responsibility for my life.
Okay, look at another neighbor.
Neighbor.
Accountability is taking responsibility for my life.
Accountability is taking responsibility for my life.
Right now,
Right now.
in this moment,
In this moment,
will I be accountable for my thoughts and actions?
will I be accountable for my thoughts and my actions?
Okay, let's say it again, switch.
May I be accountable.
Right now, in this moment,
Right now, in this moment,
I will be accountable for my thoughts and actions.
I will be accountable for my thoughts and my actions.
And I'll say this together. I choose to be free.
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 I choose to do the work
I choose to do the work
to get free and stay free.
to get free and stay free.
I will be accountable.
I will be accountable.
No more excuses.
No more excuses.
All righty now.
Ashe.
That's Wanda wrote that, y'all. Yeah. I heard you say that. But truly, you channeled that.
Yeah, it was so funny. I was walking, and like when the download comes, you gotta like pull over. So I was like walking because I live in Alameda, and I was walking. I think I was walking from the beach to the beach, and the download started because I had read that article, and I'm like, accountability. I gotta share that with my people because I'm like, we need to be accountable. And so like I was standing on the sidewalk, and it just started coming down, and I'm just like, okay. I just pulled over, picked up my my memo thing, and I just wrote it out. It took a lot of drafts, but I got it all in one download.
Ashe. Beautiful.
Yeah, if you want a copy of it, let me know. Okay. Well, I want to share. I was thinking about the ancestor for this commemoration, the 29th, and I was thinking about Frances Ellen Watkins Harper. She was a revolutionary activist. Her parents she was freeborn, but during a time of enslavement, and She did a whole lot of good work, and you can look her up. But she was also a poet, and so she wrote a few poems, and I wanted to share a couple. One is, I'm going to give you a trigger warning, just because, I don't know, for some reason I'm just feeling like, I think we need to remember, like in our bodies. So normally I don't go see movies, that are having our people getting whipped and stuff. But for some reason, I'm just like, I want to share this with you. And then I want to share one about learning to read, which I think is really wonderful. So let me, okay, it's called The Slave Auction. So anyway, get yourselves ready. The sale began. Young girls were there, defenseless in their wretchedness, whose stifled sobs of deep despair revealed their anguish and distress. And mothers stood with streaming eyes and saw their dearest children sold. Unheeded rose their bitter cries while tyrants bartered them for gold. And woman, with her love and truth for these in sable forms may dwell, gazed on the husband of her youth with anguish none may paint or tell. And men whose sole crime was their hue, the impress of their maker's hand, and frail and shrinking children too were gathered in that mournful band. Yet who have laid your loved to rest and wept above their lifeless clay, know not the anguish of that breast, whose loved are rudely torn away. Ye may not know how desolate our bosoms rudely forced to part, and how a dull and heavy weight will press the life drops from the heart. And so this is why we're here. This is why we're here. We're here for, the people that we're reading about in this poem. We're here for them because no one cried for them. No one buried them. They were just gone. I was reading about a woman, her name is Miss Nancy Goosh, and she is one of the founders of the town called Coloma in California, which is right outside of Sacramento. And Coloma is a town where gold was first found. James Marshall, Sutter's Fort. And so what happened was Nancy Goosh and her husband, they were brought here in 1849, and California became a state in 1850. And so shortly after they arrived, they got their freedom. But what happened was the owner sold their son, who was 3, to outfit his caravan to come here to look for gold. And so she didn't see her son, who was 3, for 20 years. But she found him, Nancy did, because her husband passed. And meanwhile, she was buying land. They were buying land. They ended up owning most of the land of that city. And then, things happened the way they happened, and there are no black people in Coloma now. Yeah. But anyway, but this ancestor, I can't even imagine, she didn't even know her son had been sold. And then she couldn't get him back. And she and her husband came all the way to California from Missouri. And she didn't know that she'd ever see her son again. So I just thought about her, Ashe, and all of the other ancestors, particularly the mothers and the fathers, the father his heart was weeping too, Yeah, but they did reunite. And, he didn't see his father because his father passed, but that's a really interesting hit city, Coloma. And they have like some landmarks where you can see the family's pictures, and they were really, they owned a lot of land, they owned a lot of real estate, and they were active in black politics of that period. So I have one more poem for you. I really like it. I have this thing about literacy, I guess maybe because I'm a retired English teacher, composition teacher. But yeah, I think we should all read. I think reading is something that is ancestral for us. I think it's an imperative. Like you don't read, like what? Just like if you don't vote, what? yeah, like, we just have to do that stuff. You know, I mean, I know it's crooked. Write my name in. You know, it's like, register. All righty, Learning to Read by Frances Ellen Watkins Harper. Very soon, the Yankee teachers came down and set up school, but oh, how the Rebs did hate it. It was again their rule. Our masters always tried to hide book learning from our eyes. Knowledge didn't agree with slavery. It would have made us all too wise. But some of us would try to steal a little from the book and put the words together and learn by hook or crook. I remember Uncle Caldwell, who took up pot liquor fat and greased the pages of his book and hid it in his hat. And had his master ever seen the leaves upon his head, he'd have thought them greasy papers with nothing to be read. And there was Mr. Turner's Ben, who heard the children spell and picked the words right up by heart and learned to read them well. Well, the northern folks keep sending the Yankee teachers down, and they stood right up and helped us, though Rebs did sneer and frown. And I longed to read my Bible for precious words it said, but when I begun to learn it, folks just shook their heads and said there was no use trying. Oh, Chloe, you're too late. But as I'm rising 60, I had no time to wait. So I got a pair of glasses and straight to work I went and never stopped till I could read the hymns and testament. Then I got a little cabin, a place called my own, and I felt independent as the queen upon her throne. So Desmond, I think it's your time now. Yeah, Desmond. Oh, there you are.
Shay, give her a round of applause again. Ashe, Ashe. I know a lot of us, we have a lot of talents and gifts that we want to give to the people and to the universe. Right now, this is our community share time, and if anyone has a poem, an affirmation, a song, a poem, this is the time to do it. Go. Prayer. Come on up. A prayer. Thank you, Mama Fool. Coming up. Coming up with the soul. Yes. Take your time. Take your time.
Hello.
Hello.
I didn't say hello, I said hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
To all the spirits. You know, part of my energy is sparked up by what I learned from the Shona people in Zimbabwe. And here is a morning prayer to the universe, to the ancestors, to the guiding spirits. I give praise to the universe. I give praise to the earth. I give praise to all of nature and its beings. I give praise to all my guiding spirits. I give praise to all my ancestors. I give praise to all that came before me in this struggle. I give praise to my elders. I give praise to all those who have cared for me, protected me, guided me, and loved me. I give praise to all descendants of the MAAFA and to those who are able to continue to repair consequences of the MAAFA in the self, the family, and in the global community. Ashe.
Ashe. Ashe, is there another? A prayer, song, affirmation, words of wisdom, words of encouragement. Come on up. Thank you, sister.
This is who we are. As survivors learning to thrive, we open our veins, write our truths, and then speak them without apology, hesitation, or explanation. We live at the intersection of brown skin and round hips and brutality, of terror and testimony and tenacity, of creative genius and financial instability. We are a demonstration that opportunities and obstacles live hand in hand. We are mama bears. Our words are a portal. We are courageous, compassionate seers, nurturing solutions. Live in our poetry, our footsteps, and our DNA. Our ancestors are free in us.
Is there another poem? Okay, come on up. Song, rap, poem, spoken word.
I just want to say I love everybody and everybody's soul. That's all I wanted to say.
Love you too.
All love, y'all. All love.
So there's like a lot of spiritual ministers that, as Minister Imhotep said earlier, seen and unseen, that have been on this space, Babalaos, just a lot of memories here as we move into the 30th year, and there's a lot of people that can't speak. The ancestral altar. The vibrational frequencies in them, in us, the pain that they endured for the joy that we experience, do not take it for granted. As the greatest time in this world, with the greatest destruction at a moment's notice, we live in this time. And it's because of the price our ancestors paid. We have a sacred duty, a sacred job, a sacred way to leave for the generations to come. And as we grow up here at MAAFA, we turn 30 next year. Think deeply. Think mentally, physically, spiritually on how to make the next year honoring the ancestors and those to come.
Shay.
Hello, everyone. I always reflect about all that we've gone through in this country, and we all gone through so much over the years, and I'm just so glad I'm not living in 1723. I mean,
Not Shay.
that when we're here today, to live to talk about it, to continue to talk about it. We're not on the run from somewhere. I mean, we may be on the run somehow, some way, but I'm so glad I'm alive today in the future, and not then. And we got a lot to be grateful for, and a lot to be upset about, but a lot to be happy about as well. So that's where I'm at. Thank you.
I'm gonna try to do this Marvin X poem. Before the earth was, I was. Before time was, I was. You found me not long ago and called me Lucy. I was 4 million years old. I had my tools beside me. But African history is world history, and world history is African history. I lived in the land of Canaan before Abraham, before Hebrew. I am Canaan, son of Ham. I laugh at Arabs and Jews fighting over my land. I lived in Saba, southern Arabia. I played in the Red Sea and dwelt on the Persian Gulf. I left my mark from Babylon to Timbuktu. When Babylon acted a fool, that was me. I was a fool. When Babylon fell, that was me. I fell. But African history is world history, and world history is African history. I am the first Chinese. I am the Aboriginal Asian. China has my eyes. Look for me in Vietnam, Cambodia, and Thailand. I am there today, black and beautiful. But African history is world history, and world history is African history. I used to come to America long before Columbus came to me asking for directions. Amerigo Vespucci saw me in the Atlantic returning to Africa. America was my home long before Inca, Aztec, Olmec, Toltec. See my Cabeza Calaza? See my monuments? And the Yucatan, that's me. I am the Mexican, for I am mixed with all men and women, and all men and women are mixed with me. Sometimes people falsely accuse me. Sometimes people try to put me down. Sometimes people crucify me. But I am ever returning. Africa is my home. Asia is my home. Europe is my home. America is my home. African history is world history. World history is African history.
Ashe.